All right, chat, enough of that. User 1058-2857-59961. Thank you for joining the motherfucking stream, my boy. All right, chat. Next thing we are talking about today, chat, is The Boys season finale, okay? Now, hopefully a lot of my fans or a lot of my viewers watch The Boys because I love The Boys, okay? The Boys has been one of my favorite shows since the very first season. Butcher is genuinely probably top 5 favorite just overall characters of all time, and Homelander is easily in my top 5 villains of all time, okay? So, chat, we got a video here. I know a lot of people, from what I have been seeing, did not mess with the finale, okay? And we'll talk about it more during this video, but I will say, like, if I was to give it an out of 5 stars rating, I would have given it like probably like a 4. I'm thinking 4, hard 4, like a hard 4. I definitely think it could have been better. However, we got a lot of what we wanted, I feel like, out of that ending. And also just the way it ended, I feel like was very good and also just like correct, if anything. I feel like they did a good job of really getting some emotion out of us and making it nice and brutal before the show ended, you know? I definitely am glad that the people that died. That's for damn sure. But I will say I wish it would have been slightly more accurate to the comic, because for those that have watched or that have read the Boys comics, the ending is a lot different and a lot more brutal. So I wish they would have been able to add a little bit more of that, but it's okay. So let's watch this video. This is a Nerddrotic video. Everyone hates the Boys finale.
Well, what if we share a different destiny? Something a little more scorched earth. Shock and awe. Blood and bone. Oh, second! Please!
Yeah, like...
I'll do anything! You want me to eat all you
No, bro, but it's not the same. Bro. Oh my god. Dude. Oh god, this is so bad. Dude, it's not the same. Oh my god.
Nerddrotic.com.
Greetings, you over 1 million
Wow.
practitioners of common sense and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. The Boys series on Amazon has finally come to an end, or as some might say, it's been put out of its misery.
Oh. Yeah, that shit. See, bro,
Over a month ago, the
literally because of that scene right there is why I am happy. Because at least we saw that motherfucker Homelander get put down exactly how he should have, okay? With a goddamn crowbar.
Boys creator Eric Kripke told The Hollywood Reporter that he was anxious about the fan reaction to the final episode, and now we all know why. That anxiety was justified.
Yeah.
A lot of shows outsmart themselves, and they say, the audience really wants this, so we're not going to give it to them. And, and then everyone ends up super disappointed. And I live in terror of that.
Oh, bullocks.
Okay, well, when you put it like that, buddy, you definitely... If that's how you felt, you definitely should have tried a little bit harder to give the people what they wanted. Christ be King, thank you for joining and thank you for the likes, brother. I appreciate it, my man. Chat, we are already almost at 1,000 likes on TikTok, baby. So please make sure y'all keep spamming that like button, y'all. Keep spamming that like button. Let's get to 1,000. Maybe we'll get to 2K. I'd love to get to 2K by the night. We are also 23 followers away from 2,040 followers, chat. So please make sure y'all go show some love.
On how he's girding his loins for the season 5 finale. Well, I hope he was wearing a cup. Oh, and we will certainly get to the dizzying parallels between our current political reality and all the stuff they conveniently left out.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Reporter asks him in this April 7th article, what most excites you about the final season of The Boys? Excites is the wrong word. What makes me most anxious about the final season is really hoping we land the plane. It's super hard to do a finale. Fans will retroactively judge the show based on how they feel about the finale. If we stiff it, they will definitely say, well, that show wasn't as good as we thought it was.
Damn.
Fake
I mean, you're
words,
not
because
wrong,
lo
dude.
and behold, that's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah,
Comparisons
a
are
little
already out
bit,
there
yeah.
with the Game of Thrones finale, the Stranger Things finale, and now the Boys finale.
See, but that's the thing. I do not think that the Boys finale was nearly as bad as Stranger Things or Game of Thrones. Dude, Game of Thrones, the season finale of Game of Thrones is genuinely the most disappointing finale of all time, and I think will kind of forever stay like that. You literally, Game of Thrones hyped up Jon Snow to be king the pretty much entire show, and they just wipe it. They just wipe it and make the most lame character in the entire series king. And then on top of that, the villain doesn't even get killed by the main fucking character. He gets killed by a 15-year-old girl. And don't get me wrong, I love Arya. I thought Arya was the fucking coolest. But dude, she shouldn't have been killing the Ice King. Everyone knows that. At least we got to see Butcher kill Homelander. At least we got to see Huey and Starlight do awesome. And we got to see the Deep die exactly how he should have. Like, this is not comparable to Game of Thrones.
Two of those finales came this year.
And Stranger
but at
Things
least
just
Game of
sucked
Thrones
ass.
was good for a few seasons.
The whole Stranger Things last season was pretty piss poor, I would say. I think we all can kind of agree that the last season of Stranger Things, like, they just kind of threw some shit together and called it over.
And Stranger Things was good for a couple of seasons. Some
Yeah,
may or may
like-
not agree with that, and that's fair. But let's be real, The Boys hasn't been good since season 1. Now the point
That's
I was
cap.
in season
That's such cap. That's such cap. That's such cap. You could not sit there and say The Boys was only good in season 1. That is insane. Season 3 to me is like the best season. You get Soldier Boy, you get Butcher with laser powers, you got the whole Ryan plot, you got Homelander still being Homelander. Like, and I mean, season 4 really is the only season to me that didn't like quite do it for me. You know, but I still thought it was decent.
2 when they did the Girls Get It Done thing and then went on to do the thing they just mocked when the girls got it done by beating the crap
Say,
out of
that
the
shit was
gender swap
awesome.
from the comics
I love that
Stormfront
scene.
because women can be Nazis too.
So
I love that scene.
revolutionary. It's so bold and so brilliant.
Oh, God.
But that was only the beginning with this show that is a satirical parody that became a parody of itself, including but not limited to, in no particular order, spinning off the Boys universe into the VCU, the VOT cinematic universe. Never mind that it's not cinematic, and of course people are going to say, don't you get it? They're leading into the joke. Yeah, by becoming the joke. Starting with
No.
Gen V, which was supposed to be the heir apparent. Unfortunately, nobody watched and it was canceled. Then there's the VOT.
Oh,
Rising
okay,
prequel
whoa, that's
featuring
cap.
Soldier
Yeah, I don't know. Bro is I don't quite agree with bro here. A lot of people watched Gen V. Gen V was like Amazon's top show pretty much the entire time season 1 and 2 was out when The Boys wasn't out, first of all. Second of all, I think a lot of people liked it. Yes, they did scratch it, and the Gen V show didn't really have anything to do with the ending, and they did fuck up there, for sure. They did fuck up there. But however, I mean, it's still, it's not that bad. Like, I think we're going a little extreme here.
Boy, which much of season 5 of The Boys was sacrificed to set up, and The Boys Mexico.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that's going to be. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, that man Homelander
The
was
problem with
like
this
that.
expansion is The Boys TV series was, and always will be about Homelander, who's dead now, along with the show and yes, the VOT.
See, bro,
cinematic
that scene right there, bro.
about
Hold up.
Homelander, who's dead now, along with
That clip, this shot right here, chat, is why to me The Boys is still awesome and still had an awesome ending. The fact that we got to see Butcher literally get his lick back in every way on national television, I mean, you can't argue with that. Like, we saw Homelander get fucked up, which is really what we wanted to see at the end of the day.
With the show, and yes, the Vought cinematic universe, because showrunner Eric Kripke thought it was a much better idea to forego and sacrifice any of the twists and turns and complexity from Garth Ennis's comics to give us 5 seasons of Homelander as Trump. Get it?
When we first pitched the show, it was
Yeah,
before Trump was
man.
elected. And the idea that a celebrity would actively want to turn themselves into a fascist autocrat was kind of a crazy idea. I mean, it still is, but it turned out to have happened.
I mean, but
we
it
sort of
kind of
lucked into
worked.
Whose metaphor is really about the moment we're living in, which is the cross-section of celebrity and authoritarianism. And so
I mean-
once we realized that, we're like, well, we have to go all the way. And so every season we've just pushed it.
I'm the Homelander.
I mean, yeah, and that's the thing. That's part of who Homelander is, I feel like. Yo, Raver Bean DK, thank you for the follow, baby. We are talking about The Boys season finale. We're watching a video on why everyone hates The Boys season finale. But I mean, we're just sitting here chatting about it. How do you feel, Mr. Raver, about The Boys finale? Caroline, how do you feel about The Boys finale, since you're sitting in here so peacefully and quietly? TBH, I've never seen The Boys. That is crazy, dude. You should go watch episode 1 right the fuck now. Like, straight up. Go watch season 1 right now. Go put it on right now. And have me on in the background. Raymond Bell 27, how we doing, baby? How we doing? But no, straight up, I feel like the whole Homelander Trump thing, it works. Like, oh, you said now at 2:23 a.m. Damn, where are you watching this from, my boy? It's only 8:30 where I'm at, gang. It's only 8:23 over here, partner. Denmark. I got a Denmark viewer? That's sick. Yo, shout out Denmark, bro. That's crazy. You should watch The Boys, Mr. Denmark. You'll understand America a little more if you watch The Boys. Because Homelander and Trump, even though, like, it's like he said, they didn't realize it, but yeah, dude, Homelander's characteristics are a lot like Trump's, unfortunately. It wasn't planned, but Trump also kind of did it to himself, you know? So, and not to mention, with Homelander having the personality he does, he relies so much on his powers and so much on fear. I mean, it's just a good villain. It's just a good villain, you know? But then, at the finale, getting to see him be the little child baby that he is, like, genuinely, like, deep down in his heart, getting to see Homelander be that little bitch, it's what we've been finally waiting to see. And Anthony Starr did a great job of really acting that shit out. It's nice and hot here, like 23, which I think is 73-ish. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's about, well, it's where I'm at, it's raining like hell. It's been like high 70s and just raining.
And I can do whatever the I want.
And unsurprisingly, for the 5th season in a row, the boys are spending their time trying to figure out a way to kill Homelander, who, after the events of season 4, not only has aspirations to run the country, now he wants to be a god.
Yeah, exactly, because that's how big his ego really is. He feels like he should be God because he is stronger than everybody. That's what makes Homelander such an awesome villain, is he's stupid as hell, okay, but he is so delusional and so psychotic that he actually believes this shit. He had a vision of a god talking to him.
The fans who hung on were calling filler, which is an accurate description. A redundant multiple MacGuffin chase enclosed in a mystery box. And we all know what's inside of that.
Let's see what's in the box. Nothing.
So after spending a season finding out whether or not the MacGuffin superhero virus actually works on just superheroes, all while trying to prevent Homelander getting the other MacGuffin,
Yeah.
V1, which will make him immortal, leaning into the trademark ripping people in half constantly.
I loved that episode. I thought that shit was funny as hell.
To talk about
The episode with what's his face, the dude from Supernatural, and Seth Rogen and all of them, I thought that shit was hilarious. I don't know about y'all, but I thought it was hilarious. this.
Eating buttholes.
So Geisha told me to eat her golden ass.
I dined at
Yeah,
that
Dean.
establishment back in 78.
Yeah,
The
Dean
service-
and what's the other character from Supernatural? I'm blanking. Fuck. Dean and is it Sam? Paul. Oh my god, I'm blanking, chat. Somebody help me, please. Paul. Fuck, I don't know.
was great.
Or superheroes sniffing buttholes. And an
That shit was a
entire
little weird.
season of the audience just trying to figure out what Starlight is saying that has nothing to do with all the plastic surgery the actress said she didn't have.
Why haven't you tried to swim
Nah,
in
that's
before?
fucked up. That's fucked up, bro. She literally has like or like lupus or something, like ALS. She's sick. She has a syndrome.
Why didn't scared her both?
I mean, yeah, she did get plastic surgery, but I'm pretty sure she like kind of had
Ladies,
to.
Please don't do that to yourselves. We get to a season finale which can be best described as a fart in the wind. And sticking with the theme,
Sam
of
Winchester, yes,
anuses,
thank
we
you.
Open up the finale with Frenchie's funeral, where they're reading his last will and testament, where he talks about buttholes.
I do have something to give you. The knowledge that I've seen each and every one of your assholes.
Excuse
It's
me?
supposed to be
In
fun.
this
I
episode
thought
called
it was
Blood and
funny.
Bone, which is a cult.
I didn't think Frenchie's death was that great. I thought it was kind of a weak death. It didn't hit me quite as hard as I would have liked. However, I thought the funeral scene was funny, honestly, and like kind of nice because I feel like that kind of would be what Frenchie would do, is just talk about assholes in his death.
Back to a conversation Butcher and Homelander had earlier in the series, where I'm sure many were wondering who lives and who dies as the chess pieces come together in this big fantastic ending. And since we're so far off the comics anyway, we might actually see some scorched earth. Well, sorry, spoilers. Instead of scorched earth, think stained carpet, and most everybody survives. Now, A-Train was killed
Yeah.
earlier on in the season, and the aforementioned Frenchie was killed in the penultimate episode, but of the prominent characters, everyone's still around, and guess what
Yeah.
they need to do? Find a way to kill Homelander, who, thanks to Soldier Boy handing him the V1, is now immortal. Essentially, the plot is the remaining boys have to infiltrate the White House, and they get some help from a conscious-stricken Ashley Barrett. in the last
Yeah,
minute, so they
Ashley.
can
I'm glad
prevent
she stayed
Homelander
alive.
from giving his
What, have
speech
you ever
announcing
seen
his
Hell of a
divinity.
Boss?
You deserve a god who doesn't die.
No, I haven't.
A god who fights back. A god you can believe in.
One of the biggest of many flaws of this show is
That shit was funny.
Homelander's godhood and actually convincing people to believe it. It may or may not have helped to make him immortal in the first episode instead of him running around with Soldier Boy, so you could do a soft pilot for another series instead of him being
All right,
immortal for
I'll-
just
I'll
2
check it out.
episodes.
Hell of a
And
Boss,
That
is
probably
that-
would have helped show
Is that a TV show, Raver? Hell of a Boss? Is that a TV show or a movie? What are we talking about?
runner Eric Kripke, big Trump fan by the way, avoid the mountain of criticism
kinda.
he's
Okay, word.
deservedly getting
Word.
for it
I'll check it
feeling
out.
contrived and rushed, because that's exactly what it is. And that's why I believe him when he says it's almost like you're trying to secure your legacy.
Raver, make sure you go
with
check out the
finales.
YouTube channel,
Well,
bro.
The show's legacy, and unfortunately it will affect your legacy too, because you don't get to choose that. Life will choose it for you. And it's the first finale I've
And the
ever
TikTok.
done too, so it's not like I have any experience with it. And it shows, because again, this finale is essentially the boys trying to stop a speech where Homelander is trying to convince a public who doesn't believe him that he is a god. Now he does eventually go off script and says he's going to crush all you puny humans. And it's at
Yeah.
that point where Butcher, Kamiko, and Deus Ex Ryan come in and have a big battle in the Oval Office live on television. We're in front of God and everybody. Homelander is depowered by Kamiko, humiliated, offers to suck Butcher's
Yeah.
D, and brutally murdered. Oh, and we'll get back to that in just a minute. But just like
Yeah.
the rest of season 5, and let's just call it this entire series, it was just a waste of your valuable time. And as far as the character resolution is concerned, if that's what you want to call it, it's abysmal. We'll start with Sister Sage, the smartest woman in the world.
Yeah.
Who helped replicate the Soldier Boy radiation experiments on Kamiko so she can have new powers to take other people's powers. Wonder where they're going with that one. Well, the first test is taking Sister Sage's powers, which works. And Sister Sage, who was the dumbest, smartest person alive I've ever seen in any TV show or
No,
film,
literally.
just becomes the dumbest person alive.
Yeah.
Stupid like you guys.
No, literally.
And despite all of the people she murdered or put in prison camps, she's allowed to walk free because she's a diverse woman in a Hollywood production, and we can't have them taking accountability for anything.
They'll never know what you sacrificed for them.
Speaking of diverse women, all of you who watched that Gen V series, how'd you like your big payoff where they were told to move to
Yeah,
Canada?
yeah, that was not so fun. I'm not
Our
gonna
father
lie, that was
killed
not
by
fun.
a gift that was given to him by his president wife Ashley Barrett, a turbine-grade titanium ball gag
That shit was
reinforced
funny.
with ballistic Kevlar straps. That
That's
somehow
insane.
Mother's Milk knew what it was, recognized what it could do, and put in no father's mouth.
Oh, dude, that shit was brutal.
The Deep who
Oh,
survives
that
the
was so
comics
brutal.
doesn't survive the show after an Alaska
He had to die.
pipeline disaster
He had
that
to
killed
die.
billions of fish. That was blamed
I didn't
on
know he
him.
survived in
was
the
banished
comics.
from the ocean, and after a fight with Starlight, he's pushed into the ocean, where somehow this superhero with super strength, super healing ability, and is bulletproof is killed by an octopus.
Dude,
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
gonna
mean,
start that power scaling argument again that the
Yeah,
media
power
literate
scaling in this
crowd
show
says
isn't the
is
best.
unnecessary. Then there's Billy the Butcher.
I will say the power scaling in this show is not quite the best. And I'm sure they're gonna talk about that with Homelander not being able to escape the Oval Office in that fight scene, considering he was literally able to keep up with A-Train in the first episode. However, though, I feel like they have to kind of do that to keep the same like entertainment value and just like keep everything somewhat even. The Deep, though, the Deep is a comedic character. The Deep dying by the ocean pretty much on accident, because it wasn't even like Annie really wanting to kill him when she pushed him in. She was just trying to like get him to stop being a jerk, and he just wouldn't stop. He could not let the character development win. He literally just had to stay how he was and literally rejected it. Like, he just rejected it, you know? So I think I don't mind the power scaling. Yes, it was kind of shitty towards the back end of the show. Definitely think they could have shown Homelander do more as he, like, with the whole scorched earth thing. But at the same time, if he would have done more, it would have just made it look even shittier if they actually were able to kill him, you know? So,
Played by the great Carl Urban, who can call people a cunt better than anybody I've seen in Hollywood, but even that gets a little old.
Because all you can say is oi, 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 cunt, cunt, cunt.
Like the better with a mouth shut.
Well, after killing Homelander, being rejected by Homelander's son Ryan, and Terror, his dog, dying of old age, which is the only time you might feel anything concerning the show aside from
I was
complete
sad when
boredom
Terror
and
died.
disgust. Butcher decides all the superheroes need to die, and he's going to wait until they're all in the Vought building, put the virus in the sprinkler system, and kill them all until he's stopped by Huey and killed by Huey, which is exactly how it doesn't happen in the comics aside from the act of Huey killing Butcher. Sorry,
Yeah.
spoilers. In the comics, the big twist is Black Noir is a clone of Homelander who
Yeah.
did all the horrific acts that were pinned on Homelander, and then Black Noir kills Homelander, and then Butcher kills Black Noir. He also kills Frenchie, Mother's Milk, and the female of the species, who was renamed to Kamiko for the show for agency or some shit. Anyway, Butcher dies at the hands of Huey, but unlike in the comics where he manipulates him and dies with a smile on his face, in the show he dies crying and portrayed as a hero, where in the comics he was the villain. Carl
Yeah.
Urban is great in every
yeah, but again, they couldn't, I mean, clearly based off of season 1 and 2, they couldn't quite go how the comics was, because it's like he said, Butcher in the comics is literally the villain. Like, there is no good in him whatsoever like there is in the show. And Huey killing Butcher the way he did at the end of the show, I think was a better way to go out, honestly. It gave us more of a peaceful ending to a lot of people's, I feel like now, like, favorite character. Like, Butcher to me he's badass, dude. Like, I'd love to get like him and the Punisher in a room, and maybe fucking Master Chief, I don't know, and just have them all drink or something. Like, I feel like that would be sick.
everything, but unfortunately his Butcher got lost in the Anthony Starr sauce of Homelander. As far as the rest of the characters go, President Ashley Barrett refuses to resign or accept any accountability for her actions. Sound familiar? But then the boys subverts our expectations
familiar.
and forces her to
Xbox
accept
user, what's good, brother?
accountability for her actions. Giancarlo Esposito playing Stan Edgar as Giancarlo Esposito, because nobody plays Giancarlo Esposito like Giancarlo Esposito is
No,
reinstated
literally.
as Vought CEO.
He does
Kamiko,
kinda play
who
the
now
same
has
character in
Soulja
every
Boy's
movie.
powers, and the biggest mistake with her this season was allowing her to talk, moves to France. Mother's Milk gets married, and I guess he's going to be the stepfather to Ryan. And
Yeah.
Starlight,
I thought that was
he settled
great.
Down to work
I
at
thought all their
Campbell
endings were
Audiovisual
great,
and live in
honestly.
peace. After aborting his first child, Starlight has decided to keep this one, which will obviously be a superhero, and then go into battle pregnant, because women going into battle pregnant is a Hollywood fetish at this point.
What? No, what?
Did you me?
What?
Just
What?
an incest thing.
No. What about Soldier Boy? I have no idea. They put him in stasis and we never see him again. But the main man who did all the heavy lifting was Anthony Starr, and I think my good friend Mahler put it best. Anthony Starr is the reason the boys survived. He made Kripke's shitty writing feel purposeful. His passion in every scene, with every meme-worthy expression.
Yeah,
convinced the
I mean,
audience
I
there was
can't
far
argue
more
with that.
substance, only
I
for
can't
the
argue with
finale
that
to leave you
completely.
looking back with near
Anthony
nothing.
Starr
Excellent
did his
actor.
thing.
Hope gets
He
better
did his thing
opportunities.
for
Couldn't
sure.
have said it better myself. That's why I didn't. Now let's go back to that final battle in the Oval Office, which was one of the most contrived I've ever seen put to screen. Homelander had multiple opportunities to either escape or defeat his enemies. There's a scene earlier on in the episode with some real subtle messaging. Not sure if you caught it,
Hey.
but there was a character that's supposed to be Elon Musk.
Chat, we are 3 followers away from 2030, baby. Make sure y'all go spam that like button, all right? Go drop a follow on the TikTok, baby.
I'm a disruptor. I disrupt.
He's portrayed as the richest man in the world, an amateur astronaut, and worried about white birth rates. To get rid of him, Homelander flies him into space to become an astronaut, returns in a matter of seconds. But he spends
Yeah.
the Oval Office battle dicking around with 3 people he could kill easily. Why not fly behind Kamiko and rip her heart out?
It's just a bunch of dumb motherfuckers, all right?
Eric
Yeah.
Kripke has said he purposefully wanted him to look weak at the end, and he certainly did. Only problem is, it was obvious he was nerfed by the script. Also, Eric Kripke
Yeah,
could
he
visualize
was.
his rage fantasy against a president. But unfortunately, in the end, all Homelander is a caricature within a political satire that goes after one side with a tactical nuke and the other side with a water pistol, in a show that was supposed to be a parody that became a parody of itself. The joke went on too long, and ultimately, the joke was on the audience. If you
Yeah.
like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe.
That's
If you didn't
crazy.
like what you heard, I thank you for listening this long. I will see
That was
you
a
in
good
the next
video.
video.
That was a good video. I enjoyed that. All right, chat. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys enjoyed talking about the boys, man. I will say I liked the finale, and I'm honestly very sad that we will no longer have the boys to look forward to. No more Homelander memes, no more Butcher memes, no more the boys memes, no more the boys content. And I mean, we'll get Vought Rising next year, and then apparently they're coming out with the boys Mexico. So, you know, hopefully it'll be just as good, but I mean, I can't imagine that it would be, because there won't be any Homelander, and Homelander really is that guy. Like, he very much is that guy. That was a dope video, though. That was a dope video. All right, next video, what is it?